Damsel is the newest Netflix fantasy film starring Millie Bobby Brown, Ray Winstone, Robin Wright, Angela Bassett, and Nick Robinson. A dutiful damsel agrees to marry a handsome prince, only to find the royal family has recruited her as a sacrifice to repay an ancient debt. Now, I am mixed with Netflix films. A lot of times they can be really good, but a lot of times they can be really bad, especially the $100 high profile actors with scripts done in like one draft and just put it out for the streaming service to get views and money. This is one of those movies. This is a one draft script with high profile actors, fine enough visual effects, but very lackluster direction and passionless storytelling. And the script is by far the worst part of it. And for me to give a better explanation of why I don't like the film, I'm going to run down the plot a bit. And there's going to be some spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the movie and you want to see it, don't watch this video right now. Go watch it, make your own opinion, then come back here and you can listen to what I have to say about it. And in my opinion, this is a pretty bad script. For anyone who's still here, here's the plot. So the opening, our damsel, Eleni, original name, just take the M out of Melanie. That's big brain name making right there. And so she is cutting wood. She's trying to help her kingdom, and yeah, they're not in a good place. And so we're only focusing on that for like 20 seconds before we had to get into the main plot, which is the royal family wanting to marry their prince to a princess somewhere, and they agreed to marry Eleni to this prince. So this lower class family goes to this royal family. I don't know the names of these guys. Like, these characters are so forgettable and these kingdoms are so forgettable that I'm just gonna go with what I can think of off the top of my head. So they meet each other, they get acquainted, some suspicions start to stir up, and then we get to the point where they finally marry each other. The prince and Eleni know each other kinda well enough, like they spend a few moments riding horses together and walking around saying dialogue I don't remember. Like, I guess it's them getting to know each other, and then he throws her off a cliff. Now, this is a part of the movie that kind of confused me. The fact that she dropped so far down, it did not break a single bone. Like, I know she got her fall like slowed down by branches and stuff, but that steep of a fall should have broken at least some of her bones, at least maybe her arm, or could have permanently paralyzed her realistically. I don't know. A fall that deep should have hurt her, and I didn't understand how she was able to survive that. And that's just like one of the few levels of plot armor that this movie gives this character. And then she starts to discover this cave and see what it's all about. And then she gets hunted by the dragon that is living there. Now, this is a part of the movie where I feel like it was going to get interesting. And we see that she is quite skilled at escaping this dragon. And there's a lot of cool moments where the dragon is actually toying with her. We're getting a bit more personality with the dragon, and that's very sadistic and evil. And I was actually getting into that, the idea that this monster is so sadistic that she's just willing to toy with her and mess with her mind. And it made for a very interesting dynamic here, that the dragon and the damsel are going to have conversations here, and we're going to discover more about the plot with them interacting with each other. And then it just kept going. Then she just kept toying, and then toying. And I was like, just kill her already. We get everything that you are mad that your babies are dead, and that you want revenge, and that this royal family basically did it to you. And she basically just spoiled the movie And the plot reveals already, because later on we get flashbacks to literally everything she said, and it was in the exact same detail that you would predict it will happen. And the fact that I wasn't surprised at all when those flashbacks happened, I was like, why? Because I intentionally skipped out on the opening scene, because the opening scene where the king and his very weak soldiers that are like only a handful of soldiers with him, he did not bring an entire army full of soldiers. No, he gets like 10 soldiers with him. They all easily get burned alive, like they have any chance against this dragon. Like that logic is just big brain in the king's part. And so he asked for mercy, and then the opening just cuts is there, and then later on we'll get details of that, but the dragon already says everything, enough to where even what she doesn't say, you will predict how that plot is going to unfold, and it unfolds exactly the way you think it would. So no matter what surprises the movie has, it's all spoiled because this dragon wouldn't stop freaking talking and just staying in position or toying with her. And I was like, this is so frustrating because I'm no longer surprised. I don't care about the story or this girl's struggle. I don't care. Especially with the fact that Millie Bobby Brown can finally stop crying for once in these movies, because you got these blue worms that can heal any wound she has. So no matter what damage she takes from this dragon, just get a worm, and just spray it on you, and then you feel better. So struggle, tension is all out the window. And this is a thing that the Ghostbusters remake did in 2016, where it had all the men being incompetent for some reason, and literally all the females somehow survive and have the thickest plot armor. Here, all the men are easily killed and don't put up any fight. The only one who did is Millie Bobby Brown's king dad, and he did not even put up much of a fight. Like, she has the same plot armor, but all these other trained soldiers around her somehow gets killed easily. And I just find it really ridiculous. The dragon even misses with throwing fire at her, breathing fire at her. She even misses so many times in that, until the very end, where she was able to get like a few hits in, but it's so at trying to kill her to the point where she's able to find ways to like get out of the situation. And it just doesn't make Millie Bobby Brown look strong or smart. She just has really thick plot armor that she really shouldn't have. And I did not care about the tension or the conflict between the dragon and her anymore, or this royal kingdom. Because the moment the truth is revealed, it's too late. It felt rushed, and it felt like the ending just came out of nowhere and it wanted to conclude with a big bang. I felt like the reveal should have happened more slowly, a little bit more deliberately, so that we could have more time with the royal family, showing their evil side and what they're really all about. So then the movie ends, the dragon and Eleni get along and become the best of friends. Then they ride on into the sunset together, and that's the end of the movie. Wow, what a first draft of a screenplay. There is no tension properly built up. The characters have the thickest plot armor. A lot of the editing too is very janky and all over the place. There are some scenes where the characters are hurt and you can't tell if they were hurt or not because the cuts were way too quick or the shot was poorly framed, especially with Angela Bassett's character. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see the scene. And it felt like there are certain characters that were made to not get hurt or get damaged, and there are other characters that were made to just solely be killed. And I felt like the film mismanaged the tension and suspense of the situation. It didn't feel dire. There's too much contrivances and convenience here for me to care what is going to happen with the characters. The visual effects, for the most part, are fine. They're standard, they're well detailed. There's some shots that actually look pretty good and beautiful. Some on location stuff and sets that look fine. But to be honest, they feel very produced and very well set up like Hollywood sets, and these actors did not really feel like they fit in to a fantasy setting, at least some of them. Robin Wright and Millie Bobby Brown feel fine, especially Ray Winstone, but Angela Bassett, the girl who plays Millie Bobby Brown's sister, and Nick Robinson don't really fit in as well, in my opinion, either due to acting or just their presence just feel too Hollywood-fied, if you know what I'm saying. And I really couldn't buy into the world building because not enough time was spent in Eleni's home life for me to understand her struggles. We only see like a tiny hint of what she's going through, but everything else is just told by us. It's like more telling than showing, which is not what a movie should do. A movie should show you a lot of the struggle, but the movie just relies too much on dialogue to get its story across, and I felt like the emotional impact that the story could have was just lost in translation due to that. This was overall just another poorly made Netflix movie with fine enough production value, but lacking in the storytelling and writing department. The casting is mediocre. The music is very forgettable. The direction is passionless. Again, it's well shot and the CGI and visual effects are fine, but I am not going to remember this movie at all by tomorrow. And honestly, I don't recommend you guys go watch it, really. It's really that forgettable. It's not even funny bad. It is just boring. I'm going to give Damsel a D. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.